Leaving my son was the hardest thing that I have ever done. Spiritually, emotionally, and as a man. And I did it by choice. Not because I don't love him, but because I couldn't stay the same. This really isn't about abandonment. It's about transformation, and it's about becoming someone worth looking up to. So let me tell you about Wolf. Wolf is going to be 4 in August. He is the most energetic, charismatic, smiley, beautiful, cute little boy that I could ever have wished for. When I envisaged what my son would be like, he exceeds every expectation. He's gorgeous, he's kind, he's a little bit crazy at times, and he's got a bit of a temper, but this kid is just the best. Of course, every father will say that, but this guy, he just blows my mind every single day. And to not be there with him right now, and to be getting videos coming through from Freya on a daily basis, it's lovely, but it is absolutely heartbreaking being away from him. The bond me and Wolf have is, I am a super affectionate father. I probably kiss him 1,000 times a day. I cuddle him 10,000 times a day. I make him laugh, let's say 100 times a day. And he makes me smile 1,000,000 times a day. It is just a fantastic bond, and I am the luckiest man on the planet to have a son like him. In terms of how I parent him from a distance, it's really tricky. I just want him to feel my presence. I just want him to know that I'm still here. I just want him to know that I still love him and that I'm there for him, and that daddy will be home soon, and that daddy thinks about him every single day. That's the important thing. There are the odd occasions where I get to read him a story, but usually he's pretty wild right before bed, and it's challenge enough for my missus to deal with that most nights. But she does an amazing job of eventually getting him down. And do you know what? There's this massive contrast between the warmth of being at home with the family and the pressure and discipline of being here in Dubai by myself, working on building the business and the life that I want to create for my family. Zoom calls and FaceTime and that sort of thing definitely helps, but it's absolutely not enough. And there have been some occasions where I felt absolutely crushed, on the verge of tears, thinking about him and thinking about how valuable these precious moments that I'm missing are. I miss the little things, like him running away when I pull a funny face and he knows I'm going to chase him. Or when I do the little finger claw thing like this and go after him and he knows I'm going to tickle him to death. I miss nuzzling my nose right into his neck and making him giggle. I miss giving him the biggest squeeze and literally saying squeeze when he comes in for a hug. I miss his crazy, crazy laugh when he finds something absolutely hilarious, and it's like a chuckle that just goes out of control. It was Father's Day a couple of weeks after I left, and I had this beautiful video from him saying Happy Father's Day, Daddy, and he was being wild. Like, obviously his mother asked him to say it, but it was just the look on his face and the cheekiness of it. It's just, oh, I miss him so much. He's my background on my phone, and he's my purpose. And I'm reminded of that every single time I look at my phone. I see him, I see the couple of quotes that I live by, and I'm reminded why I'm here and what I'm doing this all for. The 2 times that I think about him the most are the second I wake up and right before bed. I'll often go through the thousands of pictures that I've got on my phone, just looking through the happy times that we have together, and I just think about how amazing it's going to be when I get home in August for his birthday and just give him the biggest squeeze. I already know he's going to be vibrating with excitement when I knock on that door. But here's the reality, guys. Staying would have been so easy because I was already doing okay. I had love, I had comfort, but comfort was really becoming the trap. And I knew I was teaching my son how to exist, but I wasn't necessarily teaching him how to live. The truth is, I left to grow, and I left to demonstrate that what matters in life is that you take action. I left to confront myself, not to escape him. And perhaps the most important message that I want to teach him is that I just don't want to be that guy that just says, follow your dreams. I wanted to show him what that actually looks like and the cost of that. And it's always there. It's an ache. It's not a depression. It's just a weight, and it kind of sits on your chest throughout the day. You don't stop functioning, and instead it does quite the opposite. It gives you a sense of purpose more than anything I've ever experienced. In fact, the only other time I experienced this level of outright desire to achieve was when we found out we were expecting him. And I found a different gear in my work ethic, and it's the same again now. With the amount of time that I'm away from him and how precious the time is, I just cannot sit on my hands, and I really feel like I have to make every second count. And when I do achieve those wins, a little voice in my head says, he should have seen that. But I know in time, he's going to understand the sacrifices that I made, the leveling up that I needed to deploy in order to make all of this stress, pain, and heartache worthwhile. And ultimately, for me to make the most of this time, I realized I had to be surgical in my approach to maximize my efforts. I've only been here now for just over 4 weeks, and the level up has already happened. Even though it may not be in the exact metrics that I want, the processes which will determine the growth of the metrics that I'm concerned with down the line have elevated massively. My days are now super organized. I operate by the 15-minute block, and everything is scheduled, everything is planned the night before, and I'm super clear on what needs to be done. And most importantly, the biggest distinction is I'm hyper aware of when I'm wasting time. So I'm literally talking every 15-minute block. I wake up at 6:30. By 7 o'clock, I'm doing my steps. I'm outside on the beach front. I'm getting in about 3,000 to 4,000 steps. I'm back in at about 7:30. I'm making my breakfast. I'm getting coffee. I'm managing my energy balance. By 8 o'clock, I'm already DMing potential new clients. I'm creating content. I'm editing. I'm then dedicating blocks of time for fulfillment for my clients, doing check-ins, giving feedback, giving responses, delivering to a high level. I'm getting more steps in, I'm getting to the gym, I'm staying hydrated, I'm managing my energy balance so that I can be efficient and focused throughout the day. I'm optimizing every single one of my actions towards the outcomes that I wish to achieve. And for me at that point, it's building the brand, extending my reach, and providing a top quality service to my clients. I'm filming, I'm spending the entirety of my Saturdays filming about 42 content pieces. I'm putting content out to 4 different platforms, totaling about 150 plus content pieces per week. I'm doing lives, I'm doing long form, I'm doing short form, I'm doing reels, I'm doing TikToks, I'm doing shorts, I'm doing threads posts, I'm doing Twitter posts. I'm getting everywhere I can promoting my company and promoting my mission. And as you guys know, the mission is very much to teach men to get into phenomenal shape and to build the character traits of discipline, self-agency, and to develop more self-confidence so they can take on their own missions and build the lives they truly want. My entire day revolves around building this future, building the machine that's going to build the future. And there are no guarantees, and I'm embracing a lot of uncertainty in the process of building. But I've come to realize the harder it is, the better. Because it's a way marker. It's a means by separating. It's a means to separate myself from those that are not willing to work this hard. And the uncertainty, well, that's directly correlated to the degree of opportunity you can achieve. So I embrace uncertainty. I embrace the hard work. I know these are the way markers for building a new life and leveling myself up, recreating my environment, putting myself under some pressure, and giving everything that I can and more. And motivation doesn't even come into it. I'm so driven by purpose, and that purpose is him. So look, I'm really learning to hold the weight of missing him without dropping the vision. In fact, it's fueling my vision. I'm learning that fatherhood isn't just presence. It's about being an example. I'm learning that being a man isn't just about being there every second, but it's about being someone who's worth becoming. So maybe you're watching this yourself and you're thinking, damn, do you know what? I'm dealing with such hardship, the pressures that I'm feeling right now, the challenges, the uncertainty. Just remember that that emotional strain is what's building you up to that next level. And without taking on that stress, without taking on that uncertainty, the alternative is comfort and stagnation. So rather than pain stealing your purpose, understand that that pain, that discomfort, that stress, that uncertainty, that is the way marker. That is the signal that you are going the right way. And it should be a signal to scream more this way. And this is really where discipline comes in. It's about bypassing what you want to do and having a purpose that is so powerful and so important to you that how you feel never comes into the equation. The job gets done regardless. That's how you become the best version of you. And that's how you beat the competition every time. So I often think about this. One day when he's old enough, he's not even 4 yet, he's going to ask me, Daddy, why did you go to Dubai yourself? Why did you leave? And I'll say to him, son, I wanted to show you how far a man could go when he doesn't flinch. And really, this is very much about front loading to build an awesome future. That's the plan. Nothing is certain, but I'm giving it absolutely everything, and the outcome for me is non-negotiable. I will keep going until I achieve what I want to achieve. For me, it's about building time freedom in the future so that I can spend more quality time with him, so that he can have the freedoms, that he can have the education, that he can have the life, have the experiences that are at least what I had and more. I want him to inherit a character whereby he is daring enough, where he is willing, where it is a normal thing for him to take on uncertainty and to take on new adventures. I don't want him to be a play it safe kind of guy who lives a mundane, boring life because he's too scared for adventure. And I want him to be raised by a father who chose to do the hard things. So that sets the example and the standard for him. Because we all know nothing of value is achieved, is gained by doing easy things. And I'm hoping that one day, this path, just like I have thanked my father for, I'm hoping that one day he'll thank me for taking the hard route. So listen guys, to the dads out there who are chasing something big, it doesn't make you less of a father. It makes you a builder. But you really cannot coast. You have to lead with love and with structure, and you cannot quit on the mission because it hurts. So you carry that weight and you turn it into purpose. So this isn't absent, this is leadership. And I just had to go first.